Imagine you're getting ready for bed. You put on your pajamas, fasten the little buttons down the front, and settle under the blankets. It feels normal, almost timeless. But here's something strange most people never think about. Why do pajamas use buttons at all? Zippers are faster. They're simpler. And they've existed for more than 100 years. Yet somehow, pajamas around the world still rely on a row of tiny buttons instead. So why did that design survive? To understand the answer, we have to go back to where pajamas actually came from. The word pajama originally comes from the Persian and Hindi phrase pajama, which roughly meant leg garment. In South Asia, these were loose, comfortable trousers worn by both men and women, designed for sleeping in warm climates. When British colonists encountered them in India during the 18th and 19th centuries, they loved the idea of lightweight sleepwear. Soon they brought the concept back to Europe. But here's where things changed. In Victorian England, sleepwear wasn't just about comfort, it was also about modesty and tradition. Clothing during that era almost always used buttons because zippers didn't yet exist in practical form. So when pajamas were adapted into Western-style two-piece sets, shirts and pants, they naturally inherited the same button designs already used on shirts and nightgowns. Then, in 1893, a man named Whitcomb Judson patented one of the first versions of the zipper. It seemed like a revolutionary fastener. But early zippers had a problem. They were unreliable. They jammed easily, popped open unexpectedly, and were far more expensive to produce than simple buttons. Because of this, clothing manufacturers avoided using them for delicate garments like sleepwear. Buttons remained the safer choice. And there was another surprising advantage. Buttons are much more comfortable in bed. Think about it. When you lie on your side or stomach, a rigid metal zipper could press into your skin. Buttons, on the other hand, are small, flexible, and spread along the fabric, making them far less noticeable while sleeping. Some clothing historians even believe pajamas intentionally kept buttons because they were quieter and safer for nighttime use. Early metal zippers could pinch skin or snag fabric, something you definitely wouldn't want happening in the middle of the night. So over time, pajamas developed their own identity: soft fabrics, loose fits, and those familiar rows of buttons. And once a design becomes part of everyday life, it tends to stick around, even when better technology exists. That's why, more than a century later, many pajamas still look almost exactly like they did when they first arrived in Europe. Not because zippers don't work, but because buttons turned out to be the better companion for sleep. So tonight, when you fasten those little buttons before bed, you're actually repeating a design choice shaped by colonial history, early engineering failures, and one simple goal: comfort in the dark. And it raises a curious thought. If pajamas were invented today instead of 200 years ago, would they still have buttons at all?